So today I'm going to be going over 12 reasons why people fail at fat loss. Now, over the last 10 years that I have been bodybuilding, I haven't only just helped myself go through fat loss successfully, winning a few natural bodybuilding competitions, but I've also helped a lot of my clients do so as well. I honestly think being a bodybuilder and an experienced one at that makes you a really good candidate to actually talk on fat loss. There's a lot of people that have this weird opinion that bodybuilders are just not the right people to go to for advice if you're looking to just get in a little bit of good shape, but I disagree with that. Reason being is that when I'm in a fat loss phase as a bodybuilder getting ready for a show, my only objective is to get rid of all of the body fat. Now, of course, if you're not looking to step on stage, you don't have to take things to a certain extreme, but I think it's still useful for you to take advice from somebody whose only objective during that period of time is to get fat free. So without further ado, let's get into the 12 reasons why people fail at fat loss. So clocking in at number 1 is people think that hunger is wrong, that you shouldn't be hungry. And if you do, it needs to be addressed. Look, the sooner that you accept that hunger is necessary for you to get to your fat loss goals, and you're just gonna have to live in that for a period of time, the sooner you actually get to your goal. I mean, why do you think that these GLP-1 agonists do so well, such as Ozempic and whatnot? It's because they literally mask your hunger. This is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why people fail at fat loss is they can't sit in that hunger. This isn't me advocating for you to get GLP-1 agonists and just medicate yourself to get through the hunger, because I think that's another video for another day, but I think that just opens a whole new can of worms. But you need to be able to sit in that hunger and accept that it's going to be there and that it doesn't require a response. Number 2, your expectations are too high. Because of social media, you're now exposed to people who have been training and just in the bodybuilding or fitness game for decades. You're also exposed to genetic freaks. And the problem is when you are exposed to people that have spent a very long time in the fitness game, so they look incredible, or you're exposed to genetic freaks, it almost makes you think that it's easily accessible. But you've got to bear in mind that fat loss is just like any other skill. Let's compare it to playing the guitar. For most people, it's going to take you longer than 8 weeks to be very good at playing on the guitar. Some people will pick it up quicker than others, and some people will pick up a guitar and they'll be incredible maybe from day one. But that's extremely rare. If you want to get incredibly good at something, you have to be in it for the long haul. And it's exactly the same with fat loss. You need to start thinking more long-term. Think in months and years. Don't just think, I'm going to get to my goal or my end goal within the next 12 weeks. Number 3 is you are waiting for the right time. I'm going to be honest and tell you that there will not be a right time. And in fact, if you actually start the process of getting towards your fat loss goal when you're busier, it'll probably help you build more resilience, and you'll probably be a lot more organized with things as well. As a coach, I've had my fair share of, look man, I'm not going to be able to continue, I'm not going to be able to commit because life is just getting a little bit too hectic right now. It's funny because I actually heard a quote the other day that perfectly describes people who get results when it comes to fat loss. It's, can you remain consistent when life is not cooperating? Consistency when life is not cooperating is you not waiting for the right time. If you wait for the right time, if you wait for the stars to always align, you'll never get to where you want to be. Just start and make adjustments along the way, but don't just stop your goal because life got busy. Life is always going to be busy. Number 4, you go missing on the weekends. Everything is all rosy from Monday to Thursday, but then from Friday all the way through to then the Monday, you're just nowhere to be seen and your goals just don't really exist. I'm here to remind you that Friday through to Sunday is basically 40% of your week. 40% is crazy. And as a comparison, I mean, for a lot of people, they are taxed or they have 40% of their paycheck deducted every month or every year. Can you imagine how much more money you would have if you didn't essentially get taxed? You are leaving a lot of progress on the table if you are just disappearing for 40% of your week. Number 5, you have no accountability. No training partners in the gym and you don't have a coach. I would highly recommend getting yourself a training partner, somebody who you can go to the gym with, or investing into a coach who can help hold you accountable. When it comes to making progress with your goals, accountability is huge. And in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he expresses how you can actually do this by building something called a habit contract. So in his habit contract, you have a set of rules, for example, making sure you go to the gym a certain amount of times or making sure you stick to a certain diet. And if you don't, you have to forfeit something. You have to give money to your partner, or you have to end up wearing a dress to work. Number 6 is you are doing it in a way that is not enjoyable. You're tracking every single macro, including the herbs and spices that you're adding to your food, and or you're eating a meal plan with foods that you don't even enjoy eating. If you invest in a coach and work with somebody who's a little bit more knowledgeable than you, they can find a way to help you actually enjoy the process, which obviously is going to make you do it for long term, which means that you are going to get the result you want. Number 7, your calories are too low. Now you're probably thinking, do I not have to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat? And yeah, of course you do, but you also need to be able to actually adhere to that calorie deficit. If you put yourself on 1,000 calories every single day, yes, of course, that's going to work, but probably only for a couple of weeks because you're ultimately probably going to binge. Put your calories up and pick foods that provide a little bit more volume to help you feel fuller for longer. I promise you, if you're in a position where you actually have a decent amount of body fat to lose, the initial process doesn't have to be torturous. Number 8, you are incapable of compromise. There's another great saying by somebody called Emma Story-Gordon, who's a fantastic coach, and she always says, I don't expect sacrifice, but I do expect compromise. Sacrifice will look like you never going out ever again during your diet, or not being sociable, or not enjoying any kind of decent food that you enjoy. Compromise is still doing those things, but having limitations and restrictions on them. You can still lose body fat and go on a night out, but you can't successfully lose body fat and go on a night out multiple times a week and just get wrecked every time you go out. You can go out to a restaurant and lose body fat at the same time, but you can't go out to eat at a restaurant 4 times a week and order multiple courses of food. You have to be able to actually compromise on things that you're currently doing, otherwise you just won't get to where you want to be. Number 9, your social media algorithm is basically just food porn. Eric the Electric, Man vs. Food, The Great British Bake Off, all of these things are just going to end up driving your food focus sky high. Not only is it going to make your food focus sky high during the diet, but it's also going to make your post-diet absolutely disastrous. Make sure to control your algorithm on social media and don't let it just be flooded with food that you want to have after the diet or foods that you're craving or dreaming about. Number 10, your environment is rubbish. Your partner's a slob and you're buying foods that just stray you away from your diet. Plus, you're going to a gym that you absolutely despise. Make your environment more conducive to the goals that you have in your mind and more conducive to the person that you actually want to be. Invest in putting some cardio kit in your house. Try and choose a gym that is closer to where you live. Take the lead with your nutrition in your household so that you're not just falling victim to just, oh, can we just get another takeaway this weekend? Take control of the nutrition in your household and build an environment where you and your partner are both actually healthy and getting to your goals. This process can be extremely hard if you have a partner that's not on board or just doesn't understand what you're trying to do. So make the process enjoyable and include them, and I promise you it will make your life a whole lot easier. Number 11, you think that you can just wing it. How much do you intend on losing? And how long are you going to be going through this fat loss phase? With all of my clients, we have a built out timeline to see how long they're actually going to be going through fat loss and where I expect them to be at different points within the year. This gives them a plan. It gives them an objective. Without that, I promise you will just continue to spin your wheels. Number 12, you talk too much. When you tell everybody around you that you are going to start the process of fat loss and you want to get in good shape, you'll just get a dopamine hit from just telling people because you're going to get a lot of praise. You're going to be told that it's really cool. You're going to be told that you're going to look great. In doing that, in getting that then dopamine hit, you almost think that you've actually achieved something, that you've actually made a step forward. And this can actually lead to people getting complacent. It's kind of the same in business. Whenever you start a business or make a post that you started a business or started a new venture, you get a lot of acclaim and praise and a lot of likes on social media, but then that suddenly slows down and you still have to keep momentum. The goal hasn't finished. In fact, it's literally just started. There's actually a really good story when it comes to American history about the issue with complacency and just talking too much. There was a guy called Upton Sinclair who actually ran for governor of California. Can't actually remember the year now, but the story is covered in the book Ego is the Enemy. And whilst he was running for the governor of California, he actually wrote a book basically proclaiming that he'd already won and he was essentially naming himself the governor of California. And the book was a hit. It done really well. But the problem was that he was still in the middle of trying to actually become the governor of California. His close circle around him actually found that as the book done really well, as he received a lot of acclaim, he just became very complacent in his campaign. And would you believe it, he got absolutely blown away. Complacency and talking too much kills goals. Do not talk, just get on with the work. And once you're done nailing your fat loss, have a watch of this to make sure that you bulk properly.